Welcome back to this video, guys, and I have not done one of these in months. I will be predicting the gubernatorial races for the 2020 election as a whole, not talking about each individual state, but as a whole, nationally. So let's start off and just fill in races that we know for sure will go one way. So these races include Washington and Delaware, which we know 100% will be going blue. And then Utah, Missouri, Indiana, West Virginia, and North Dakota will all be going red. And the states that we have remaining or the states really I want to talk about is Montana, North Carolina, Vermont, and New Hampshire. I don't really feel like I need to talk about Utah or Montana or Indiana with you because we know that whoever is the Republican nominee, based on whoever wins the primaries, will win the state. Same thing with like North Dakota, Delaware, Washington. So there's no need to discuss it. So let's start off with North Carolina. North Carolina is a swing state in the 2020 election. So it should really be a swing state in the gubernatorial race as well. It's not necessarily the case. We look at the polls from 538.com, and you see here Roy Cooper, since the beginning of July in any polls conducted, has just been destroying Forrest, who's the Republican. Look, Cooper is up 14 in this poll. Cooper is up 11. Cooper up 20. This one's actually close. Cooper's up 3, and Cooper's up 11. But the one that makes you look and think twice is the one conducted by Marist College. Marist College A+ rated by 538. A+ is only given to really like between 5 and 10. It switches a little bit, but between 5 and 10 polling sites out of thousands. So these ones are the best to look at, and it is Cooper up 20 points. So in a state that you would think would be a swing state on all levels, it's not really a swing state come the gubernatorial races. I wouldn't consider it likely blue, even though Roy Cooper is up by double digits in almost every poll. I'll put it more as a lean blue state here. But that's what I think would happen here. Cooper has done fairly well handling COVID-19 so far to this date. And I think that will continue moving forward in this election, because North Carolina, while it has seen some uptick in cases, it is not like Florida with Ron DeSantis or Georgia with Brian Kemp. So now moving on. So I want to talk about New Hampshire and Vermont both together, and then I want to talk about Montana last. So New Hampshire and Vermont are states that normally on the presidential level we would consider solid blue, and New Hampshire we would consider more of a lean blue, a state that has the possibility for flipping, but a state we don't actually see flipping, or we really expect it to go one way. So here on the gubernatorial races, it's actually very different. Both of these blue states have Republican governors, and I think that Vermont, it would be a likely Republican. Actually, Vermont would be more of the lean Republican margin, while New Hampshire will be a likely Republican state. So we go here looking at some of the polling data from New Hampshire by the University of New Hampshire here, B-, but that's okay. That's still good to look like. You see Sununu is up by an insane amount, by up to almost 40% against Volinsky. Sununu is constantly getting 60% of people in a state that is going to go blue on the presidential level. So, I mean, could it switch? Could Volinsky come back and win? Volinsky is most likely winning the primaries there and going to actually be the one with the Democratic nomination. But could it switch? I mean, yeah, it kind of could, because New Hampshire is so unpredictable because of its swing state status. That's why also with Roy Cooper's lead in North Carolina, I didn't consider it likely blue. I left it as lean blue. So yeah, so it could switch, but I will leave it here as a likely Republican state, as Sununu will most likely win. And then Vermont, let's go to Vermont. And you see Scott up ahead by 42 to 35 points here. So this is the only poll I really want to look at because it's somewhat relevant. But I just don't see Vermont going any other way. I would consider it a likely state, but I don't know. That just feels weird in a state that's so solidly blue. Up here in New Hampshire, in Vermont, in Maine's 2nd District, they have weird politics up there. Same thing with Alaska and Montana and North Dakota. It seems like the states that have low population but border Canada have something up with their population. I'm talking about Alaska, Montana, North Dakota, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine's 2nd District. So that's why I am only putting them at the lean margin here. And the last state we want to talk about is Montana. Montana is a weird state as well because on the Senate level, it can go either way. We don't know if it's going blue or red because their former governor is now running to be a senator. So it could really go blue on the Senate level. On the House level, it's probably going to go red. On the presidential level, it's definitely going red. But the gubernatorial race is another one that is kind of a toss-up, really. I mean, the one credible polling site that we have seen so far by Emerson College, an A- pollster, have given Cooney down by 41%. Well, he has 41%. He's down by 8 points in the poll. Even though it says 50%, 41, that's really 9, but we're talking about the average. So when you really, I mean, not the average, but because for Cooney, it could be something more like 41.4, with Gianforte being 49.6. But that's really what it is. So Montana is another state that I believe Gianforte will win by the tilt margin. But this is going to be close. This and the Senate race will also be very, very close. So that's really it, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Comment below who you want to win in your gubernatorial race if you have one, if you live in any of these states. So thank you so much for watching. Check back in the future for all things Politics America. Hit that subscribe button so you're up to date on everything election 2020. So thank you for watching this.